Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Amit Marwah. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Nokia in India. And what I'm going to do right now is try to run you through the Nokia booth at the India Mobile Congress. The Nokia booth in the India Mobile Congress has been created as a digital environment, which has a digital city, which has a digital enterprise, which has a digital home, which has a digital network provider. So there are sections in this. We have created an entire digital experience, and the big theme that we are driving here is, of course, path to 5G or 5G. Over here, if you see, we have a real 5G environment or machine which has the 5G radio, the core all integrated. These are two antenna elements which are radiating on 28 gigahertz frequency, which has been allocated to us for this show. And what we are showcasing here, if you see on the screen, is first time ever in India throughput in the range of 10 Gbps, which is being live demonstrated on 5G equipment. The other part you see on the screen is latency in the range of 1 to 2 milliseconds. So this has never been achieved or done in a live showcase in India. Coming forward, with using this live demo of 5G, we also have a use case demo of low latency. Can you please just run the ball? So what it's showing is that if you have a normal network, let's say a 4G network, this is a ball balancing game. It takes a pretty long time to balance the ball. But as soon as you switch it to a 5G network, the balancing of the ball, because of the low latency, happens in seconds to some extent. Can you, yeah. This is on 5G. So as you see, the 4G experience was that it took very long to balance the ball. This is just an example of how robotics can be used in Industry 4.0 in order to do low latency cases. What we are also doing in IMC is trying to not only talk about cases on 5G which are being talked rest of the world. What we are saying is 5G for India will be very different from 5G requirements from rest of the world. And so we have incorporated few use cases which are very close to what India would require. This model that you see here is a running model of a 5G use case, potential 5G use case, which we are calling a smart ambulance use case. Now the way it works, is it working? Can we start it? The way it works is that there is a smart ambulance which is connected over 5G network, which has all the integrated features of diagnostic built into it. Now this ambulance, when it works, not only does it receive the patient request, picks up the patient, puts the vital stats while it is driving onto the cloud system, and to be able to talk to a doctor who is monitoring and giving advice, but at the same time is also connected to a smart city infrastructure where the ambulance system is connected, for instance, to a smart lighting, traffic light system. So when the ambulance passes, automatically the traffic lights turn from red to green because it allows the ambulance to pass through. The other thing that we are also integrating is that because of GPS connectivity, if the ambulance senses that at some point of time the traffic on the road is very heavy, then it can change the route or go to a closer hospital, which may not, Then over here we have another use case which is very similar to, near to what we are calling India specific use case. This is something 5G for smart education, what we call Shiksha as our theme, what we have adopted. This has again been done by our Bangalore R&D team, where we are saying how 5G can be used to incorporate virtual education in various kinds of fields, and how different labs, for instance, if you go down, then an experience of a chemistry lab in a virtual environment could be like this. An experience of a biology lab, for instance, could be something like this. So the learning becomes very much more effective because you are able to see and do whatever. And we have integrated this through virtual reality cameras. where what you will be able to do is actually sitting inside the classroom and virtually not only taking classes. And this can be, the use cases are, as you can see, chemistry, biology, classroom, public schools. We can go anywhere in order to bridge and bring education closer to what we are trying to do. Then over here we have some interesting stuff on what is happening in the future. Of course, we have all the products which are 5G ready products, and some products which are 5G new radio products also demonstrated. Some of these you can see are hanging on this in terms of the latest generation antennas and base stations. One thing I would like to show you is something for the future. This is a demo. If you see on the other side, what it's trying to say is that in the future, we are not only talking about virtual reality of the experience of, what we see in a virtual glass, but we are saying that touch and experience of touch will also be transmitted on remote connections over a distance. So what you are seeing here is a robot which has two different types of surfaces. And at a remote location, you have a sensor and connection where when you move this robot, now I can feel here by moving this arm here with the experience of what kind of surface the robot is touching on the other side. And if I move this on a, to the other side on a smoother surface, I can very easily and now touch and see the surface has become completely smooth. So what we are saying is that in the future, it will not be only virtual reality, it will not be only all these application use cases, but it will also be touch and feel, which will be transmitted over networks. Then we have a very interesting use case here, this is our smart home section, where we are saying that, and this could be applicable to cricket in the future, but here is a use case of a football field. So if you see here, when I sit and experience this goggles here, I am in the middle of a football field with the football lying in front of me like this. I raise my hand and I am actually, the goalkeeper is there in front and I am the kicker. So when I kick the ball, I can actually almost score or not. So I'm actually getting an experience of virtually being inside the field and playing a match like it would have been there. Over here we have a smart home experience. This is a new portfolio that we have launched on our Wi-Fi. So we have these beacons, which are 3 beacons here connected. They are Wi-Fi beacons, very similar to what are being, but they are using much higher technologies of Wi-Fi right now. They can be used as the last mile to connect inside the house, a Wi-Fi connectivity. On the backhaul could be 5G or a fixed wireless solution, which is also demonstrating here on a PON network or any other kind of broadband technology. So I think these are the various types of interesting future. Of course, we also have demos here which are more about how network slicing would work with 5G, because a very, very important element of 5G is network slicing. So we are explaining how network slicing and what needs to be done on the network in order to make that work. We have a demo here on Wing. Wing is our IoT platform, which is basically talking about that till the time, there might be a need for the operators for the business case to still emerge. So we are providing a shared IoT platform where we are saying we will set up the IoT platform and we will only license a little bit of capacity on that to operator A, B, C, D. They can share so that when the use case and the ecosystem grows, they can decide to make their own. So I think these are pretty much some of the interesting stuff that we have. Of course, there is lots more. Thank you.